The following program was produced by an independent community producer. The opinions expressed do not necessarily reflect those of the ECAT staff or board of directors.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Topic Time with Harrison Young. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Topic Time in July. Would you believe it? Tomorrow is the 4th of July, and I have an amazing guest tonight. We're going across the country to LA. She's a young lady I went to high school with and junior high school, and she's had an amazing career in law and other things that we're going to discuss. But before I get to her, I got to read these amazing underwriters, and then we will commence per usual. So we have Royal Pizza in Rainham. We have Watson's Candies in Walpole. They're a new one. We have One Good Credit in Brockton. We have Boombox in Middleborough. We have Johnny Macaroni's Restaurants, 3 locations, 2 in East Bridgewater, 1 in Halifax. We have Cornerstone Barbershop in Pembroke. We have Nilo's Market in Holbrook, Nilo's Market. They're a new one, Brazilian Market. We have Lynch's Towing Auto Cycle and Truck Center in Brockton, 1 number for towing. 1 number for projects. My pal Lynchy over there was always looking for new wheels, transportation, scrap metal, anything to do with that. He handles it all. We have Eli's Auto Care in Taunton. We have the Gunrunner LLC, the Second Amendment Freedom Store in Middleborough, specializing in customer service, pricing, and selection. We have Doggy Boutique, all breed professional grooming for dogs and cats, run by my great next door neighbor, Debbie Siddell in Brockton. We have Grant's Rental in Bridgewater. We have RW Carpet and Flooring in Norton, covering floors for 50 years. We have Joe's Diner in Taunton. We have Haven Psychiatric Services right here in the building. We have Highland Grill and Pizzeria in Braintree. They're a new one. We have Brian's Barbershop in Kingston. We have Kingston Auto Body in Kingston. We have Jamaican Sun Tanning in Braintree. Great to have them back. We have Beauty by Zhangji in Walpole. They're a new one. We have New England Floorscapes in Middleborough. We have Caves, Cans, and Bottles in Braintree. Great to have them back. We have Hanover House of Pizza in Hanover. They make great Sicilian pizza, Greek salads. They have awesome people working there, and they deliver. We have Tom Auto in Middleborough. We have Salon Giovanni in Marshfield. We have the Auto Shop in Hanover with Master Mechanic Ed Rooney. We have DNS Auto Works and Collision Specialists in Abington on Route 58. And I want to thank you guys very much. And now, her name back in school was Allison Drukas. Her name is now Allison Drew. I don't know if that's a made-up name or you're related to Nancy Drew, or what is it? You tell me.
Well, I shortened my name when I got married because I had a hyphenated name, and it was too long and too much, too garbled. But now my name, it keeps getting shorter. Now my name is Allie Drew. Okay. So it keeps getting shorter. So it's Allie Drew.
Oh, it's Allie Drew. Okay, because as I recall in school, you always went by Allison. Like you and I have both long, beautiful 3-syllable names that we worship.
Yes.
But
yes.
You just go by Allie now. Okay. All right.
Yes.
Well, all right. We're going to recount a little bit of the old days. For instance, I met you, 52 years ago in the summer of, it was still summer, September 8th, 1972. We were students at West Junior High School.
You're amazing.
I admit
You're
it. I know.
amazing.
We were in Mr. Silver's 8th grade history class in that extra room in the back, which kind of reminded me of the old, I figured it might have been a flogging room years earlier where they sent the kids when they misbehaved to be flogged before they outlawed that. And I didn't do too well in the class, but I remember, I definitely had no trouble remembering you from there because, you were like you still are, you were a beautiful girl and you were sitting in the 3rd row. And you seemed like you had your head on straight. You knew what you wanted to do, but I didn't. So that's what we're going to talk about today. So tell me about, so now what I do with every guest is I try to find out what they were like as younger people. Now I knew you like I said, back in that time, but what did you aspire to at that time? I want to, tell me, did you have any intentions then to go into law or any inklings that you might? So you tell me.
Oh, all I cared about back then were horses. I drew pictures of horses. I read books about horses. I was an equestrian.
Okay.
I competed in horse shows. I won trophies and ribbons, and I developed a competitive spirit back then.
Okay.
But when I got to high school, I got more interested in the social scene at school. So
Okay,
that killed my equestrian career,
okay.
of course. So,
Well, I gotta ask now, I know where you lived because my brother was actually your parents' neighbor, and he said he met you once. You lived on Brier Circle.
right.
Right,
How did you know that? Who's your brother?
well, his name's Evan Young, and he's a lawyer too. He actually got a law degree in 1998. He passed the bar in the third try, and
Uh-huh.
and now that you mention it, I'm glad you brought it up. The only other lawyer I ever had on the show was our former mayor, Jack Units, who was Brockton's mayor for 10 years, the longest serving mayor I think we ever had. And he was also my neighbor, and he was a guest on my show back in 2011. So, that shows you how long the show's been going. So that's 13 years ago.
Wow.
It's going,
Good for you.
thank you. Yeah. So he was I think you guys live next door to each other. They lived there from 1999 to 2004, 5 years. And they moved to Easton, and they've been living there where we're at now, where I'm sitting at this moment. And they've been living there for 20 years now. So, but he said he knew, I said, you live next to the Drucases. Like, did you know Allison? And he said, yes, I met her once. But so in other words, Jack Units and you were the only two legal people I've had on as guests.
Uh-huh.
But what I gotta ask, when you were talking about equestrian stuff, there were no horse farms on your neighborhood. Where did you go to ride the horses?
I boarded my horse at Clock Farm in Easton. Do you know where that is?
I've probably seen it. I don't know exactly where it is, but
yeah, it was a beautiful stable, but God only knows it's probably a bunch of condominiums now. But it was a beautiful stable back then.
Wow.
It was owned by an English lady, and I rode English.
Okay.
And it was just a real wholesome childhood. It was lovely.
I know it was. You were a very happy kid. I remember that. When did you decide? No, I know you did the social scene, and then of course I remember that day you kicked your shoe at the light fixture at Brockton High School.
What day was it though?
It was Wednesday, June 19th, 1974, 50 years ago. And I remember
You're so funny.
Yeah, I know.
Funny.
I know, but looks on everything. No, but you have to admit, I was shocked in a positive way when I saw that, because I'd never seen you act out like that. And I know you were having an Alice Cooper moment. It was the last day of finals, and we were done. And the next day we didn't even have to be there. See?
That's so funny that you remember that.
That's a day I'll never forget.
I remember that sort of.
Okay.
I remember you though.
Well, of course you remember me. Who didn't? I mean, I was infamous. But all right. So when did you start? When did you decide to? You did your social stuff at Brockton High School. Did you do anything? What extracurricular activities did you do? Because I know, you texted me last night and you asked me about Guys and Dolls. Did you? And you said you were in that musical. Were you in the acting troupe at Brockton High School?
No, I danced in Guys and Dolls.
Okay.
And I was in the drama club. I performed in a lot of plays.
Okay.
And then I danced in the musical, and that was fun too. I was a dancer.
Right.
I took dance lessons, and mostly dance. And then when I was a senior, either a junior or senior, I can't quite remember, but I asked my mother if I could take a modeling class.
Okay.
And sorry, they're taking out our trash. Can you hear it?
Yeah, I can hear it. So you don't want to keep it there. You want to get it removed. I don't blame them. You should be happy about that.
Right. So my mother signed me up for a modeling class in Boston.
Okay.
And I took this modeling class, and I started modeling for them. And I modeled as a teenager.
Okay.
And all through college. I went to Emerson College.
Wow.
And I was a theater major. And when I graduated, I came out to Los Angeles with 5 other students.
Okay.
And that's how I ended up out here.
Okay. Well, those 5 other students in our class?
No.
Oh,
they
okay.
were
You're talking about
students
Emerson
at
students.
Emerson.
Yeah, I got it. Okay.
Yes.
So you were bitten by the acting bug, and that's why you went to LA.
Yes. Well, I wasn't quite sure what I wanted to do, but I had stars in my eyes.
Okay.
I knew I didn't want to lead a provincial life. I wanted to live in a big city. I wanted excitement. So I came out to Los Angeles and I kicked around in acting for about 5 years. I did bit parts on soap operas. I was
Wow.
a nurse. I was a stewardess. I was an aerobics teacher. I played a newspaper reporter, and I
Okay.
also worked behind the scenes also. So I did that for about 5 years, but it wasn't steady enough. I
Okay.
wanted something more steady. And I thought, I want to be a trial lawyer. That sounds cool.
Yep.
So I went back to school and I got my law degree.
What school?
I went to Whittier College School of Law,
Okay.
and my first job out of law school, I worked in workers' compensation.
Okay.
And my entire career as a lawyer, I always represented poor people. I worked at the public defender's office and as a workers' compensation lawyer. I always represented the poor,
Okay.
and I'm honored and privileged to say so.
Well, you should be. That's very noble because
Thank you.
probably more people in the country that can't afford, good counsel, but you
Yes.
provide it. So
Yes.
that leads me to ask, when you, as a public defender, you're actually working for the state against the state in order to keep the
Correct.
checks and balances intact, because
Yes. Thank
unfortunately,
you.
yeah, right? Did I nail it on
Yes.
the head? Okay. Unfortunately, there are people out there that do very bad things, and even though they probably don't deserve legal counsel, the country guarantees it to them because that's what the USA is about. So that we're not living in the 14th century or the Middle Ages where people might be executed in the town square just because they look at the constabulary in an evil way or whatever. So
Right.
that's a good, that's been working for a while. Unfortunately, sometimes bad people get to walk and they do bad things again, and we know that. So how many years did you do this for?
I did it for 27 and a half years.
Okay.
And yes, the punishment must match the crime. That's what we make sure happens. We want to make sure people don't get their hands cut off
Right.
because of a petty theft.
That's true.
So
Yep.
we hold up the system. And we need people like us.
Yes.
I'm proud of the work we did. And we always say, if Jesus were a lawyer, he'd be a public defender. So
No
just
question
want to
about
throw
it.
that in.
Okay. All right. Well, that's an incredible, career that you had. So you've been in LA. When did you moved out there like right after college? So I'm guessing you've been there over 40 years now, right?
1982.
Yep.
Yes.
There you go. 42 years. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And you have children, and you're married. Are you married and not married?
I have children, but from someone else, and I'm
Yeah.
with a new guy now. But I miss Massachusetts, and it feels great to be virtually in Massachusetts. My heart will always be in Massachusetts. I love it there.
And we'll come back. Come back and see us.
I always visit. I can't come back this year because my partner needs to get knee surgery, but I love Massachusetts.
Oh, yeah. Well, listen, I know she's not the only one that needs surgery. My mother's getting hip replacement next week at 87.
Oh,
Yeah, but she's a feisty
yeah.
broad. She'll be okay. You just got to keep her
Oh,
on our
good.
thoughts. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. So, okay. So how are you spending your time now? Are you just chilling,
Oh,
relaxing?
no, I have the day after I retired, I didn't skip a beat. I
Okay.
started a YouTube channel.
Oh, yeah, that's
and-
right. You have the 700. You're the opposite of 007, Allison Bond, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Allison, it's Allie Drew
Ellie Drew
700.
700 at 700, right? Yeah, it's a great
Yes.
channel.
Yes, thank you.
Oh, I
Thank
love
you
it.
so much.
And you told us how not to get osteoporosis. I love that.
You're so funny. Yes, it's Allie Drew 700 on YouTube, or you can go to allydrew.com. And my entire career, since I retired as a model, I always researched skincare.
Okay.
And I knew that estrogen deficient skin was a problem for women.
Yep.
And when I turned 50 or around 50, and it's a little embarrassing to talk about menopause and mixed company, but I knew women's skin changed around 50.
Okay.
And
Yours still looks great, by the way.
thank you so much. Thank you. But I asked my doctor if I could use estrogen cream on my face 15 years ago. And lo and behold, here it is 15 years later. And it's a big thing now on social media. And I put out a video on estrogen cream, and it's getting a huge response. You can see it on my YouTube channel.
Okay.
And I'm still helping people. I'm helping women with aging, because women can age just as gracefully as men.
Better. You're proving that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. You're very sweet.
Well,
I've had no work done.
Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. Now, do you do any other declarations on your YouTube channel, or is it just basically that?
Such as, you mean other than
I mean,
estrogen?
right. I mean, you talk, I mean, I got it, what, the skin treatment, but I'm just, do you do anything entertaining on other entertaining forms of entertainment on your YouTube channel? Sing, dance?
I've tried to do other things,
Okay.
but women always want to know about skin.
Of course.
So I'm bombarding them with stuff about skin, but I've tried to do other things, and they like my videos on skincare. I can honestly say that, well, I don't have to say honestly, I can say that I'm getting a lot of sponsors reaching out to me now.
Yeah, I
So
noticed that. You had like
proud of that.
700 followers already, and you've only just had
800.
800. I'm sorry. I'm the
800.
one where I have 782 now, so I'm going to catch up.
Fantastic.
Yeah, I know. We're doing great. I know. You just said you started it in January, so it's only been like 6 months.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
How are you tech savvy when it comes to YouTube? Because I'm not. I started a channel 15 years ago and I suck at it. But do you do it by yourself, or do you have help? And if you have help, that's fine. But I'm just curious.
No, you know what? I was when I worked at the public defender's office, I was in court every day.
Yeah.
And so my tech skills really fell behind.
Yeah.
So I had to hire a tech person, but I'm learning. I'm catching up.
Yeah, you probably, yeah. I mean, you get better at it as you stay with it. I'm lucky to have. I mean, I'll tell you something. When I did my first 4 years of Topic Time in Marshfield, I was supposed to do all the tech stuff myself. And I realize now that I could, the people I have with me at these stations that I do now, I couldn't do without. I mean, they're the second to none. Delightful human beings, and very, compassionate, patient, because I'm not easy to deal with all the time, and I couldn't do it without them. So kudos to all those people, as long as we're on the subject of people helping us. So, okay. All right. Well, that's all. When you modeled, and I don't think you can anymore. Where did you model before? Where did you model? Did you model in magazines? Did you model, did you do walkway, runway stuff, walkway, whatever they call it?
They call it runway.
Runway. Okay.
Yes, I did runway.
Okay.
I did print work. I was in the Boston paper.
Sweet.
I was actually in the Brockton Enterprise too. I did some print work that ran in the Brockton Enterprise. I did some work for Marshalls.
Okay.
Now I'm
Wow.
really dating myself. I did some work for Jordan Marsh, which we used to call Jordan Marsh.
Right, Jordan Marsh, or just Jordan's. Well, that's a different sport. You're right. Jordan Marsh.
Yes.
Okay.
Filene's.
What about Ganley's? Remember Ganley's?
Yes, I do. I do.
Now that's dating yourself, because they haven't been in business for like 45 years. They used to be
my goodness.
Yeah, they're right next to where Shaw's is now. They were.
Really?
Oh yeah, back right across from Brockton. Well, not right across from Brockton High School, kind of down the street. Like, well, so yeah, just down the street from Brockton High School on the opposite side. As I recall, that's where they were. Then there was Sears next to Gamley's. They were in that plaza where Brockton. You don't know, I mean, I don't know, you've been in LA for a long time. I don't know if you even remember when they called the Shaw's, I mean, they don't call the Brockton Public Market that anymore, Shaw's.
Right,
You know
yes,
that,
oh,
okay.
yeah, oh,
You've been
yeah.
back to Massachusetts since then. I mean, you've sure you've come
At
back to
least
visit.
once a year.
Yeah, oh, good, okay, so you know that. You
Yes.
just come back to visit the family and stuff. That's great. Okay, do you have grandchildren?
No, I don't have grandchildren, but I have a question for you.
Sure,
Some of your sponsors that you mentioned on your previous shows, you mentioned some Mexican restaurants. Is the
okay,
Mexican food good
very good.
in Brockton?
Well, yes, there's a new place called Teffy's. It's down on West Elm Street on the kind of like just beyond where the old field is from Brockton, the old Brockton High School. And they're very good. I love Mexican food. I don't know if you know this, but I've been a vegetarian 42 years. And
Wow.
I loved it, and I've never looked back. I was a lot heavier in high school, Allison. I was about 60 pounds heavier than I am today.
Really?
And if I was sitting here, if I was as heavy now as I was then, I'd be sweating bullets because it's 90 degrees in this room. No, I'm just kidding. It's not that bad. But I'm just saying I love the lifestyle. I feel great. I think I know a lot of us don't look forward to getting older. I actually do. I'm psyched. I'll be turning 65 on October 3rd, and I'm looking forward to it. You're younger than me, I think. I checked your date of birth. I'm always interested in that. But I mean, I have no problem aging. I like it. It feels like I'm proud to have lived as long as I have. I didn't think I ever would, not to mention what I'm doing here. So yeah, but definitely I would recommend Mexican food, especially if you want to try. I don't know if you're a vegetarian yourself, but I'd recommend that lifestyle for anybody.
I'm a vegetarian about 98% of the time. I'm
Okay.
what you call a flexitarian.
Well, okay. I mean, if you either eat meat or you don't eat meat, it's as simple as that. I mean, I understand what
Well,
you're saying.
I am a vegetarian, but just recently I cheated
Oh, you
and I
did?
had some chicken. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well, I don't know if you're aware of this, but the vegetarian revolution is intact like never before because you can get anything that you love that's meat there's a plant-based substitute for. And
Yes.
former quarterback, Tom Brady, who was born the year that we graduated from Brockton High School, has been a vegetarian for a long time. And you know how healthy he is.
Yes. Yes.
It's a fun lifestyle too. I mean, because I love to eat. I'm a glutton, but I eat until I'm full. And the food I eat fills me up a lot faster than the food I used to eat. So that's something else that's worth considering.
So what kind of Mexican food do you like? I'm just curious because
burritos,
when I grew
bean
up, we didn't eat
burritos. Taco Bell.
burritos.
There's nothing wrong with going to Taco Bell and chomping on the chulapas. Those are delicious and they're healthy. And
What's a chulapa? I've never heard of that.
Well, it's like, I don't know, maybe I mispronounced it, but it's like a taco, with a lot of fixings in it, with guacamole and all, and enchiladas and stuff like that. Those are really good. But what I used to go to, Taco Bell it's amazing. It's been there for 32 years. I remember when they opened in 1992. I went to the Brockton Fair that summer with some friends, and I tried a bean burrito when I was hooked. And for like the next 2 years, I'd go into Taco Bell and I'd eat 9 bean burritos every day for a while. I have a little OCD thing going on, so I end up doing things compulsively, and that was one of them. Except in the days when I got pizza at Lindo's in Easton, which is still pretty good, but I haven't eaten pizza in a long time. But so there's nothing. There's nothing wrong with Mexican food from Taco Bell. But if you're looking for, there's all kinds of nice Mexican restaurants. There's a couple of them. One in Plymouth, one in Carver. That both run by the same family. They underwrite my show sometimes. There's Festachara on Route 58 in Carver, which is right down the street from one of my other locations for the TV show. And then there's the La Bamba Tacos and Tequilas. I think that's what it's called. That's in Plymouth, and that's run by the lady that runs Festachara just opened it last year. And sometimes she underwrites me for both restaurants. So,
but is this a new phenomenon to have Mexican food in Massachusetts? Because I don't remember any of it when I was growing up. Do you?
No, I don't. So you're probably, I mean, I don't know if it's new, but it's been around a few years now. I mean, you got to remember, you haven't lived here in a
Right,
while. So,
right,
so if whatever might seem new to you might not seem new to us anymore.
right,
So
right.
there's plenty of great Mexican restaurants around here. And Mexican food, there's a lot of them. Yeah, you like ethnic food. I like ethnic food too. Well, Indian food's very good too. I don't know if you ever had it.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes.
yeah, and there's plenty of,
So I went to this because the Italian food out here, not very good. But I
really?
went to this one Italian restaurant out here and the food was amazing.
Well, stick
And
with it,
it
I
turns
say.
out the owner is from Brockton
Who is it?
and it's called Baroni's
Yeah, but who's the
and
owner?
Tom Baroni.
Okay. The name sounds familiar. I don't think I know him. Okay.
But the pizza tastes just like the pizza from Cape Cod Cafe.
Wow, that is pretty good.
Yeah, and my son is in love with the pizza there. And I said, this tastes like the pizza I had growing up with that, crispy cheese crust.
Yeah.
So,
Remember
pizza
the
on the
Tip
East
Top
Coast.
Cafe? Remember the Tip Top Cafe on North Main Street?
Yes, of
They made
course.
they were the first pizza place I got extra cheese at. That was so good. The pie was more yellow than red, and that was always good.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
No, it's not
Oh,
there
you're getting
anymore.
me hungry.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot you can make your own pizza that's really good too, and it's healthy and it's vegan completely. I started doing that in 1982 when I turned vegetarian, and I never looked back. And now I've learned so many different recipes and foods that you can eat, and you can buy them in the supermarket. I go every week to Shaw's, and they have plenty of good vegan foods.
Do you, are you a vegan
Yeah,
or
I'm a
a
vegan now.
vegetarian?
I used to, I've been a vegan since 2011. I've been a vegetarian since 1982.
Wow,
Yeah, and so
good for
I don't eat
you.
any. Yeah, I mean the truth is you can't really be a complete vegan because most of the stuff you wear, your clothes, your car seats are not vegan, unfortunately.
Right.
And I wish they were. I wish because it's a lot more humane. I love animals. I love horses too, like you do. So, are you living on a horse farm now or near one? You don't ride anymore, or do you?
No, I don't.
Oh,
No, I actually live right next to CBS Studios, which
wow.
which which sounds really glamorous, but we get a lot of noise from the filming, and it's quite frankly a little annoying. Um,
I can
uh,
imagine that.
yeah, wait, there's a macho show called is it SEAL Team Six? SEAL Team Six, and
Okay.
we can hear the guns going off, and it's kind of annoying.
And you've been at this location for a long time, but you used to it?
Yes,
Okay.
yeah, sort of, but I don't think they've been filming that show very long.
Oh, I
So,
see. Well,
yeah,
maybe it'll go off the air because the ratings will be like down the crapper, and that'll be good. Then you don't have to worry about it.
we
I'm
can
being,
only hope.
yeah, I know. But what a history you have. You acted in soap operas, you said, right?
Yes,
Wow.
yes.
Which ones?
I was on mostly Days of Our Lives,
Wow.
and then I was on a soap called Capital, which got
I remember that
canceled.
one. I remember that one. Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
Um, and then I did some production work, um, but um, but it was just unsteady. The entertainment business it's a little crazy.
oh, I know it is. I've been in a couple of films myself, and I was actually a mental patient in Shutter Island, the role I was born to play, I always say. I
Wow.
worked directly with Martin Scorsese, and he was great. And then before that, I was in Amistad with Spielberg, and he fired me on the set in Boston on March 22nd, 1997, because I botched the line that it was his fault that I botched it because I was a member of the House of Representatives in 1839, and we had a scene where Anthony Quinn, who played John Quincy Adams, fell asleep. And they said, inquire as to his well-being, because Spielberg was directing the scene. And I go, is he okay? And he goes, they didn't say it like that in 1839. So he asked me I had two more scenes in Newport, Rhode Island, then the following Monday, and he wouldn't let me do them because of that. But whose fault was that? He should have reminded us. It was the 20th century. We went to, if you're doing a dated scene, you got to tell your actors that they have to, say certain things. If you're gonna have them ad lib, you gotta make sure they know what they're doing, and unfortunately, he didn't. Okay, all right, I think we're down to Allison. I hope you had fun. We're down to the final 5 minutes of the show.
Well, the heck with him.
The heck, oh, it's Spielberg? Oh, I know, I hate
Yes.
the guy. I don't hate him, but I mean, but that's, I'm just saying, I learned the difference between a good personality and a schmuck, and he was a schmuck. Okay, I mean, and then I've had a lot of independent filmmakers on my show, and they've gotten me extra roles in their films for it, and that's all
Great.
fun. But the show is my baby right now. That's all I'm doing, and I'm enjoying it very much.
Great. It's a good show. I really liked the episodes.
Well,
I
now you're a
saw.
part of it. You're a part of Topic Time Nation history as of now, which is awesome. So, Allison, what I want you to do is give a few shouts out to people that are going to see the show. We're going to share the show on your YouTube channel. I'm going to share it with the Brockton High Class of '77 group that we just became a part of, without which I wouldn't have even known what you're doing, which I'm so grateful for. Praise you, Mark Zuckerberg and Facebook, because without you guys, we wouldn't have this.
Yes.
So,
Quick question.
sure.
Did you go to any of
The reunions.
reunions?
I have not. I almost went in 2022. You know what happened? People were asking, I was going to go. People were asking me if I was going to go. But unfortunately, by the time I decided to, it had already happened. Nobody told me when and where it was.
Well, go to the 50th.
Oh, I will. If I'm still with us, I'll go to the 50th. I'm looking forward to it. I'm planning on it, but so I'm was there in spirit, I guess. It looked like a lot of cool people there. And
It may be our last.
don't look at things. Don't look at it like that. I'm going to the 100th.
I'm sorry, that's negative.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. Well, so Allison, give a few shouts out to people, like, your family, friends, people that are going to see this. We're going to share this on the BHS 70 Class of '77 website, as well as.
I don't know. Honestly, there's too many people.
All right, then don't worry about it. They know, they
There's too many
appreciate you.
people. But thank you so much. I really appreciate that you asked me to do this. It was really
amazing.
fun.
It was, and you were, it's an honor to have someone like yourself on my show, of someone I've known for so many years, and someone who's done so much for so many people. That's great. Listen, so Allison, we're going to wrap the show up. Will you do me a favor? Will you stick around on my tech guy? I'll take a pic for Facebook, and I'll tag you in it, and you can tag me.
Okay.
All right, folks. Happy tomorrow's the 4th of July. Have a great one. Stay safe. Don't blow your hands off with fireworks. You know what I mean? Okay. And we'll see you next week with another great show. Signing off and rolling out.